It's been amazing to hear how Elvin Jones has inspired some of the best drummers in the world who have come through Drumeo over the last few years.
Elvin Jones is from Pontiac, Michigan, very close to where I grew up. Tiny little kick drum. I don't know how big, like 16, 18. He's a big dude, man, and he was just like destroying these drums in this little jazz club in Hollywood. And this was like, he was in his 70s.
A Love Supreme, I think, is just one of the greatest jazz records ever recorded. That entire record is a beautiful way to hear Elvin in and with this great quartet. What he played is perfect for what that group was doing at that time.
That record blew my mind when I first heard it as an 18-year-old. It really kind of opened my mind to a whole different world of music and, you know, a different style of playing, and everything is there.
Elvin Jones is definitely, arguably, my favorite drummer ever, you know? I mean, Elvin is like the most organic, truthful, honest, you know, musician ever, kind of. I mean, everything he plays is so incredible. His performance on that whole record is just groundbreaking.
Love Supreme wasn't about writing compositions that were hard to play and needed a lot of precision. It was more of a spiritual, ecstatic kind of experience that the players themselves were striving to be in, and also transmit that to the audience, to the listener. So if you were in the room with that group, you could be lifted out of your everyday experience. And that really was the concept of that kind of music.
I grew up listening to A Love Supreme, and I mean, that's one of his shining moments. I mean, he's a drummer where back in the day, a lot of people did not understand his phrasing, his approach to drumming. He's definitely one of the pioneers of jazz.
Love Supreme I got turned on to by Mark Juliana, actually. And I listened to it. It's the first thing that comes up when I plug my phone into the car.
You know, Elvin's playing is like, there's so much of that African tradition in there, and so much of it can't even be transcribed because it transcends musical notation. So I remember listening to that record in college, and it was definitely a turn the lights out kind of a thing.
And the way that Elvin plays drums, it always reminded me of you know, a piano player, or it's super melodic. His drumming in the jazz world created so many shockwaves because it was so powerful, and his presence was so enormous on stage.
He came up with a way of playing that allowed the other players to be freer. In a way, he exposed the fabric of the swing beat in a very organic, in some ways African type way, where you can really hear the polyrhythmic nature of the swing pulse.
I am a fan, and it's really, really cool. I've probably been influenced by people that were influenced by him, if you know what I mean, because undoubtedly he's a giant.
It's just nobody ever sounded like that guy. I mean, he even says in interviews that he had a hard time getting work at first because people didn't understand what he was playing, you know. But he stuck to his guns, and usually, a lot of times, the greatest, you know, artists, people don't understand at first, you know. And man, what a treasure.
His drum solos were very expressive, not necessarily in time, but even some of them, when they were in time, some of the eights took a little long, some of the 8-bar phrases were a little short. You know, they were loose. And as long as everyone in the group was listening and paying attention, it all worked.
The way he thinks of composition was like ahead of its time. Like, a lot of people didn't want to play with Elvin. They thought he was too out, you know. He was just like where I need to know where the one is, or he played over the bars, and like, but he saw the whole picture. Like, he's a really incredibly developed musician, and so when he found Coltrane, it was like, okay, these guys speak the same language. That record, one of the greatest jazz records of all time, yeah.